What if the biggest obstacle to building wealth isn't how much money you earn, but what you believe about money? For years, many people have been told the same story. That you need a high income to save. That investing is only for the wealthy. And that multiplying money is something reserved for experts on Wall Street. But the truth is much simpler, and much more empowering. Wealth often begins with small habits. Small decisions repeated over time. A little saved here. A little invested there. And slowly, almost quietly, those small steps begin to compound. In today's video, we're going to talk about how money actually grows, even if your income is modest. We'll explore the mindset shifts, the strategies, and the simple habits that can help you start multiplying your money over time. But before we continue, I want to be very clear about something. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a personal finance expert. What I share here comes from reading, studying, and researching topics related to personal finance and investing. I also share lessons I've learned from observing and experiencing the world of business and everyday financial decisions over time. This channel is simply a place where I share ideas, insights, and perspectives that may help us all think more carefully about money and financial habits. With that said, let's explore a powerful question. How can someone start multiplying their money? Even on a low income? Let's begin. Have you ever noticed that most people believe only high earners can save money? That's one of the biggest myths out there. The truth is that saving money doesn't depend on how much you earn, it depends on how you manage what comes in. Saving money is the foundation of everything. It protects you when life throws a surprise your way, a flat tire, a medical bill, a repair at home. But it goes far beyond that. Saving is what allows you to reach bigger goals, like buying a home, paying for your children's education, or retiring without financial stress. The problem is that many people give up before they even begin. They assume their income is too low, or that their bills leave no room to save. But even small amounts, saved consistently and invested wisely, can grow into something significant over time. The secret isn't the amount, it's the habit. Another fundamental piece is mindset. If your thinking about money isn't aligned, your finances won't be either. Let's break down a few mental blocks that may be sabotaging you without you realizing it. First, I'll start saving when I earn more. This one is extremely common. People promise themselves that once their salary increases, they'll finally start saving. But in reality, when income goes up, expenses usually go up too. If you don't learn to save with a little, you probably won't save with a lot. Second, if I want it, I deserve it. Of course you deserve good things. But deserving something doesn't mean you should buy it right now at any cost. Instant gratification can be deceptive. After a long week, it whispers that you deserve those new sneakers. The problem is that the pleasure of the purchase lasts minutes, but the credit card bill can last months. Saving isn't about depriving yourself forever. It's about delaying satisfaction now so you can enjoy a much bigger reward later, without guilt or financial stress. Third, debt is always bad. Not every kind of debt is the villain. Credit card debt with 300% interest. That's a bottomless hole. But a well-planned mortgage can be a path to homeownership. A loan used to start a business can generate returns. The difference lies in the interest rate and the purpose. Smart debt helps you build assets. The rest is just financial weight. Fourth, investing is only for the rich. This might be the most damaging myth of all. You don't need a fortune to start investing. In fact, the earlier you begin, the less you need to invest each month because time starts working in your favor. Today, many platforms allow you to begin with just a few dollars. Brokerages like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Charles Schwab offer accessible options. You don't have to be a market genius. Even a simple high-yield savings account with regular deposits is already a great start. Fifth, I'm just not good with money. No one is born knowing this. You don't need to love spreadsheets or become a financial expert to build wealth. You just need to get the basics right, spend less than you earn, save a little every month, avoid bad debt, and don't let your lifestyle grow at the same pace as your salary. The rest you can learn along the way. Speaking of the basics, many people think budgeting is painful, complicated, time-consuming, and full of restrictions. That's not true. The right budget doesn't trap you, it frees you. It shows where your money is going and helps you direct it toward what truly matters. With today's technology, apps like Mint or Anab make the process much easier. The key is simply finding the method that works for you. Multiplying money isn't magic. It's strategy. And the first step is understanding that there is no single formula that works for everyone. Your goals, your time horizon, and your tolerance for risk all influence your investment choices. Before you put even a single dollar into the market, you need clarity about what you want to achieve. Is it retirement? Buying a house? Building an emergency fund? Each goal has a different timeline, and each timeline requires a different strategy. It's also essential to build a budget where saving and investing are treated as fixed expenses. Not whatever is left over. They should be a priority. In other words, you pay yourself first. Now let's look at some strategies. There are many, and you can combine them depending on your profile. One of the most common approaches is long-term investing, sometimes called position investing. You buy an asset and hold it for years, trusting the power of compound growth. This is ideal for long-term goals like retirement and for people who don't want to worry about daily market fluctuations. Then there's diversification. Think of it like sunglasses for your portfolio. It protects you from the blinding glare of relying on just one asset. Spreading your money across different investments, industries, and even countries reduces the risk that one bad investment wipes everything out. Index fund investing has also become extremely popular. You buy a piece of the entire market, for example, a fund that tracks the S&P 500, often with very low fees, and let time do the rest. Even Warren Buffett recommends this strategy for many investors. Another approach is value investing, which focuses on finding stocks that are undervalued, companies trading below their true worth. It requires research and patience, but it can generate strong returns when the market eventually recognizes that value. Dividend investing focuses on stocks that regularly pay shareholders. This creates a stream of income while your investments continue to grow. Many investors use dividend strategies to supplement retirement income. For those who enjoy more excitement, there's growth investing, which focuses on companies with the potential to expand rapidly, often in emerging industries like technology. The risk is higher, but the potential reward can be substantial. You also need to decide whether you want to be an active or passive investor. Active investors pick individual assets and try to outperform the market. Passive investors buy index funds and let the market work over time. Neither approach is right or wrong. It simply depends on your time, interest, and temperament. Finally, there's dollar cost averaging. This simply means investing a fixed amount every month regardless of whether the market is up or down. It removes the temptation to try to time the market and helps smooth out volatility. Remember, the best investment is the one you understand and that aligns with your goals. There is no silver bullet. Before we continue, if you find this content helpful, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep sharing more content about personal finance and investing. For a long time, the formula for financial success seemed simple: study hard, get a good job, earn a stable salary, and everything will work out. But that formula doesn't work the same way anymore. In today's economy, depending on a single source of income can be extremely risky. Layoffs, inflation, health problems, economic crises, or policy changes. Any unexpected event can disrupt your financial life. Investors call this concentration risk, putting all your eggs in one basket. When your entire income comes from one place, you become vulnerable. If your paycheck stops, everything stops. Inflation also quietly erodes the purchasing power of people who depend only on a salary. While your paycheck grows slowly, the cost of food, rent, and healthcare can rise much faster. You work harder, but it still feels like nothing is left at the end of the month. And there's another uncomfortable truth: job security is often an illusion. Companies change, industries shrink, and technology replaces roles. Assuming your current job will last forever can be a costly mistake. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine waking up knowing that even while you slept, your money was working for you in multiple ways. That's the power of multiple income streams. And diversifying your income isn't just for millionaires. Anyone can begin. Let's look at 3 simple ways to start. First, a side business. This could be freelancing, consulting, selling handmade products, or running a small online store. Platforms like Etsy, Shopify, Fiverr, and Upwork make it easier than ever to get started. You keep your main job while building something of your own in your spare time. Over time, that side income could even surpass your salary. Second, digital products. An e-book, an online course, design templates, or stock photos. You create it once and sell it many times. Platforms like Teachable, Gumroad, and Amazon Kindle allow almost anyone to publish and sell digital products. This is one of the closest things to true passive income. Third, renting out assets. Maybe you have a car sitting in the garage, a camera you only use on vacations, or tools collecting dust. Platforms like Turo for cars or Fat Llama for equipment allow you to rent these items to people who need them. Your unused assets start generating income with very little effort. The secret isn't doing everything at once. The secret is simply starting, one step at a time, one additional stream of income at a time. Before we continue, I want to make something clear. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a personal finance expert. I simply read, study, and research topics related to money, investing, and financial habits. I also learn from everyday life experiences, and I share what I discover along the way. Always do your own research before making financial decisions. If there's one lesson the financial markets teach over and over again, it's this: consistency beats intensity. You don't need to be brilliant with money. You just need to be consistent. Contributing every month, even small amounts, often does more for your future than waiting for the perfect opportunity. Markets reward those who stay invested, not those who constantly try to guess the perfect moment. Time is your greatest ally. Consistency also protects you from your own impulses. When investing becomes automatic, you no longer have to negotiate with yourself every month about whether you'll save or spend. The money leaves your account before you have the chance to use it. That's why automation is powerful. Set up automatic transfers to your savings, your investments, and your emergency fund. When the money isn't sitting in your checking account, it's much less likely to be spent. You also need clarity. Not necessarily a complicated spreadsheet, but a simple understanding of how much comes in, how much goes out, and what remains. Regular reviews, even quick ones, prevent small problems from becoming big ones. Many people think they need a financial advisor. It's not mandatory, but it can help. A good professional can provide structure, perspective, and accountability, things that can be difficult to maintain alone when markets become volatile. And speaking of volatility, how do you stay disciplined when headlines are screaming? Every market downturn comes with dramatic predictions about economic collapse. Noise is the enemy of calm. Discipline isn't about ignoring information. It's about knowing what truly matters for your goals. If your plan is long-term, daily fluctuations are mostly irrelevant. One useful strategy is to create decision rules. Decide in advance when you will review, rebalance, or adjust your investments. And don't change those rules just because of the news. Wealth rarely announces itself while it's being built. It grows quietly, through small decisions, repeated consistently, often unnoticed by others. It may seem boring, repetitive, even unfashionable. But that's exactly how it works. Conclusion. The power of small steps lies in their cumulative effect. What begins as a modest habit of saving can eventually grow into a strong investment portfolio. Time and consistency are your greatest allies. Don't let the fear of big changes paralyze you. Embrace the power of small steps. Focus on what you can do today, no matter how small it seems. Remember, every great financial success story begins with one small step. Over time, those steps accumulate into real progress. Slow and steady truly wins the race. Before we finish, remember something important. Building wealth rarely happens through one big decision. It happens through hundreds of small ones. The quiet choices you make every day with your money. The choice to save a little, even when it feels insignificant. The choice to invest consistently, even when the market feels uncertain. The choice to think long-term, when the world around you is focused only on today. Most people are waiting for the perfect moment to start. But the truth is, the perfect moment almost never arrives. What changes lives financially isn't timing the market. It's time in the market. It's patience, discipline, and the willingness to keep going even when progress feels slow. So here's a simple challenge for you. After this video ends, take one small step. Open a savings account. Automate a monthly investment. Review your budget. Or start thinking about one extra income stream you could build over time. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. And if this video helped you see money from a new perspective, consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep sharing practical ideas about personal finance, investing, and building a stronger financial future, step by step. Also, I'd love to hear from you. What is one small financial step you want to start this month? Share it in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else who's just beginning the journey. Thank you for spending a few minutes of your day here. I truly appreciate your time, and I'm glad you're part of this community. Take care, keep learning, keep building. And I'll see you in the next video.